In the currency quadrant, taking a look at the June euro currency future, which basically had a straight down day from the highs today. We opened up at about the settlement, moved up to about a tick and a half above yesterday's settlement, and then basically fell the entire day. So we'll call the high unchanged, even though it was up 1/100th of a basis point from yesterday's settlement. Then we collapsed all the way through 121 down near 120. 120.34 was the high in that, the low in that June contract. And that's that's about 84 basis points lower. So a little bit lower than 0.75% down. And we're finishing the day near those lows. So today's move actually erased the entire weekly gain that the euro had made, getting us down below that 121 level, which is viewed by some as being critical. Now, officially, the Eurozone has gone into a double dip recession. Their GDP was released today, and it came out at down 0.6, which was slightly better than expected. It was expected at down 0.8, but the technical definition of a recession, still used by many economists, analysts, it's not used in the US here as much, but a technical definition is 2 consecutive quarters of negative GDP growth. And given the fourth quarter of last year and the first quarter of this year, the Eurozone has that. So they are now in a double dip recession. That's giving the impression that the ECB might need to get a little bit more aggressive, which means more euros in circulation, hence the weakness that we saw today. Now, the bad news is the fact that that the EU fought a third wave of the coronavirus vaccine with more lockdowns, and they had such a poor vaccine rollout in the early stages. That's part of the reason for this negative GDP. But Germany has reached 1 million vaccines a day now. So that's the bright side of this very dark tunnel. The negative is Germany, as the engine of the EU, as the largest economy in the EU, had the worst GDP figure of the larger nations within the EU. So Germany, France, Portugal, Italy, Spain. France did actually have a positive GDP figure today. So that was one of the bright sides of the whole thing. So we'll see where that takes. It looks like the ECB may have to get more aggressive. Now, also, we want to look at U.S. yields, which have stabilized at a higher level, giving the dollar a little bit of strength. We had the dollar against a basket of currencies actually up more than 50 basis points today. That's only happened in 9 sessions in 2021, and today was one of the larger ones, up over 60 basis points. So the dollar moving as strongly as it did is, of course, a headwind to the euro.